Before the trophies, before the major championships, before the crowd started chanting his name, Bryson DeChambeau was something golf did not know how to handle. He was different. He did not swing like everyone else. He did not think like everyone else. He did not even build his golf clubs like everyone else. And in a sport built on tradition, being different can feel like a crime. Golf has always loved elegance, smooth swings, quiet confidence, classic technique. But Bryson came into the game with equations, experiments, oversized grips, single-length irons, physics theories, protein shakes, and a belief that the game could be solved in a completely new way. To some people, he was a genius. To others, he was a problem. But Bryson DeChambeau was never trying to be normal. He was trying to become undeniable. Bryson James Aldrich DeChambeau was born on September 16, 1993, in Modesto, California, and was raised in Clovis. From early on, golf was not just a game in his life. It was part of his family, part of his routine, and part of the way he learned to understand the world. His father, John DeChambeau, had a deep connection to golf and helped shape Bryson's competitive mindset. But Bryson was not just another young player copying the usual path. He was curious. He asked questions other players did not ask. Why should every iron be a different length? Why should a golf swing be based only on feel? Why not use science, measurement, and physics to make golf more repeatable? That curiosity became the foundation of everything. As a young golfer, Bryson was not just practicing shots. He was studying them. He was searching for patterns, systems, and answers. He did not want to guess his way around a golf course. He wanted to calculate it. That mindset eventually took him to Southern Methodist University, where he studied physics and continued building one of the strangest and most fascinating approaches golf had ever seen. At SMU, Bryson's game became even more unusual. He used irons and wedges that were all the same length, built around the length of a 7-iron. For most golfers, that sounded almost ridiculous. Different clubs were supposed to have different lengths. That was how the game had always been played. But Bryson saw it differently. If every iron had the same length, then every swing could be more similar. Less variation, more control, more repetition. It was not tradition. It was logic. And in 2015, that logic started producing history. Bryson won the NCAA Division I Individual Championship. Then, just a few months later, he won the US Amateur. In the same year, he joined a rare group of players who had won both titles in one season. That was the first major warning to the golf world. This was not just a strange kid with theories. This was a serious golfer. And he was coming. When Bryson turned professional in 2016, people already had a label for him: the scientist. It sounded like a compliment, but sometimes it felt like a challenge. Every tournament became a test of whether his system could survive real pressure. Could a player really win on tour with single-length irons? Could a physics-based swing work against the best players in the world? Could someone this different become a champion? At first, the answer was not obvious. Bryson was talented, but he was also polarizing. His slow, detailed process annoyed some people. His confidence rubbed others the wrong way. His methods were questioned again and again. In a sport that often respects quiet tradition, Bryson was loud in a different way. Not loud with words, loud with ideas. He was measuring air density, talking about launch angles, studying spin rates, testing equipment, building a game around numbers while others trusted instinct. But the results started coming. He began winning on the PGA Tour. He became a Ryder Cup player. He climbed into the elite level of the sport. Slowly, the player people called weird was becoming too successful to ignore. Then came the transformation that changed everything. Around 2019 and 2020, Bryson decided golf had another problem to solve: distance. If modern golf rewarded power, then he would chase power harder than anyone. He bulked up, trained harder, gained speed, and began attacking golf courses in a way that looked almost violent. He was not just trying to hit it far, he was trying to break the geometry of golf. Fairways became optional. Rough became manageable. Par 5s became attack zones. Long holes suddenly looked shorter. The old strategy was to avoid danger. Bryson's strategy was to fly over it. A lot of people hated it. They said it was ugly. They said it was not real golf. They said he was turning a beautiful game into a power experiment. And then, in 2020, at Winged Foot, one of the hardest US Open courses in the world, Bryson proved the experiment worked. The US Open is supposed to punish mistakes. It is supposed to expose weakness. It is supposed to make even the best players look uncomfortable. But Bryson attacked it. He overpowered it. He finished as the only player under par and won by 6 shots. That was not just a victory. That was a statement. The golf world had spent years asking whether Bryson's method could work. At Winged Foot, he answered with a major championship. But success did not make his life simpler. After the 2020 US Open, Bryson became one of the most talked about athletes in golf. Every swing was analyzed. Every mistake was mocked. Every strange idea became headline material. He was famous, but not always loved. There were controversies, criticism, rivalries, questions about his style, his speed of play, his personality, and his future. And behind the scenes, life was also getting heavier. His father, John, battled serious health problems for years and passed away in 2022 after a long struggle with kidney disease. For Bryson, that loss was not just personal pain. It became part of his story, part of the emotional weight behind his comeback. At the same time, his career entered a complicated chapter. Injuries slowed him down. He had wrist surgery in 2022. His game was not always as sharp as it had been. And then came one of the biggest decisions of his career, joining LIV Golf. That move placed him in the middle of one of the most divisive periods in modern golf. LIV Golf split opinions, divided fans, and changed the professional golf landscape. For Bryson, it meant more criticism, more questions, and more pressure. Some people thought his best days were over. Some thought he had chosen money over legacy. Some thought the scientist had finally lost control of the experiment. But Bryson did not disappear. He rebuilt. He found a new version of himself. On LIV Golf, he became captain of Crushers GC. He won individual titles. His team won the 2023 LIV Golf Team Championship. At the same time, he started connecting with fans in a way he had not before. His YouTube channel became a major part of his image. Instead of only seeing the intense, complicated golfer on tour, people started seeing a more relaxed version of Bryson. Funny, curious, competitive, open, willing to teach, willing to entertain. The same player once seen as robotic started becoming one of golf's most watchable personalities. And then came Pinehurst, the 2024 US Open became the defining moment of Bryson's second act. At Pinehurst No. 2, the stage was brutal. The pressure was enormous. The crowd was loud. And on Sunday, Bryson found himself in a battle with Rory McIlroy, one of the greatest players of his generation. This was not just about winning another tournament. This was about legacy. Rory was chasing his first major in a decade. Bryson was chasing proof that his first US Open was not a one-time experiment. The final holes became pure drama. The lead changed. The pressure rose. The crowd felt every shot. Then came the 18th hole. Bryson drove into trouble. His second shot found a bunker. The championship was hanging in the air, and from 55 yards away, under the kind of pressure that can destroy even the best players, Bryson hit one of the greatest bunker shots of his life. The ball finished close. Then he made the putt. Bryson DeChambeau was a US Open champion again. Not the old Bryson, not just the scientist, not just the power experiment. This was a more complete Bryson. A player who had been mocked, doubted, injured, criticized, and written off, and still found a way back to the top. That victory changed how people saw him. The same fans who once questioned him were now cheering him. The same personality once called too strange was now seen as entertaining. The same obsession with detail that once made him difficult to understand now made him fascinating. Bryson's story matters because it is not just a golf story. It is a story about being different and refusing to shrink. He did not fit the traditional mold, so he built his own. He did not accept the normal way, so he tested another. He did not wait for golf to approve of him before becoming great. He forced the game to respond. His legacy is already unusual. He is an NCAA champion, a U.S. amateur champion, a two-time U.S. Open champion, a major winner on two completely different versions of himself. First, he won as the power scientist who overwhelmed Winged Foot. Then, he won as the emotional showman who survived Pinehurst. Few golfers get one identity that works. Bryson has had multiple. Today, he stands as one of the most unconventional champions golf has ever produced. He is a player, a brand, a content creator, a team captain, and a walking experiment in how far one athlete can push a sport. He has changed conversations about distance. He has changed conversations about equipment. He has changed conversations about personality in golf. And whether people love him or criticize him, they cannot ignore him. That might be the real legacy of Bryson DeChambeau. He did not become great by becoming what golf expected. He became great by challenging what golf believed. From the kid with equations, to the champion with trophies, to the man who turned doubt into fuel, Bryson DeChambeau's story is not about fitting in. It is about proving that sometimes the future of a sport does not look traditional. Sometimes it looks strange. Sometimes it looks impossible. And sometimes it wears a flat cap, swings single-length irons, hits it farther than anyone thought was reasonable, and walks away with the U.S. Open trophy. That is Bryson DeChambeau, golf's most unconventional champion.